Picture this. It's 1939. The world is on the absolute brink of World War II. Hollywood and British cinema are churning out grand sweeping epics to boost public morale. And then Zoltan Korda drops the four feathers. To be honest, it's arguably one of the greatest Technicolor spectacles ever made. But, beneath the Hollywood glamour, the film is deeply entangled with actual brutal history. I mean, the story of Harry Faversham, the British officer who resigns his commission right before his regiment ships out to Sudan, only to be branded a coward by his three best friends and his fiancée with four white feathers, isn't just a fictional drama. Actually, it is framed entirely around the real-world Mahdist War of the late 19th century. So, let's look at the actual history behind the lens. Anyway, the film sets its climax around the Anglo-Egyptian conquest of Sudan, specifically leading up to the historic Battle of Omdurman in 1898. But to understand why the British Army was so obsessed with going into that desert, we have to backtrack a bit. Let's talk about the year 1885. A charismatic religious leader named Muhammad Ahmad, who declared himself the Mahdi, or the Guided One, led a massive uprising against the Egyptian and British authorities. They successfully besieged the capital city of Khartoum. Therefore, enter General Charles Gordon. The British government sent him to evacuate people. But he ended up getting trapped. The Mahdist forces broke through, and General Gordon met his end on the steps of the governor's palace. This deeply embarrassed the British Empire. You know how empires are. They don't take defeats lightly. They spent the next decade plotting their return, purely driven by a desire for geopolitical control and a bit of imperial revenge. Anyhow, back to the movie. Our protagonist, Harry, disguises himself as a mute, disguised member of the native populations to sneak into the conflict zone and secretly save his friends. Now, obviously, Harry Faversham himself is a fictional character adapted from A.E.W. Mason's 1902 novel. But the backdrop he operates in? Astoundingly authentic. By the way, director Zoltan Korda actually took his crew to the actual locations in Sudan to shoot the film. Those massive desert battle sequences? They weren't filmed on a Hollywood backlot. He hired thousands of local people, including actual veterans who had fought in the real battles decades prior, to play the Mahdist warriors. I mean, look at the depiction of the Caliph, the successor to the Mahdi. The film frames the British campaign, led by General Herbert Kitchener, as this grand noble liberation. But if we look closely at historical records, the real conflict was terrifyingly industrial. At the real Battle of Omdurman, Kitchener's forces deployed Maxim machine guns against thousands of brave but outgunned fighters. The result was a devastating, one-sided clash that solidified British control over the region for generations. So, while the Four Feathers focuses on personal honor, redemption, and individual courage, the real-world backdrop was a complex, brutal chapter of late Victorian imperialism. Ultimately, the film teaches us that true bravery isn't about conforming to what society expects of you, but doing what's right when nobody else is looking. Let's just make sure we project that kind of understanding across borders today, because at the end of the day, we've all got to stop the cap on conflicts and just let world peace vibe forever.